Hello, I want to give you kind of a rough plan every day and show you some of the resources you could be using to get ready for the AP exam. And this is something that could pay off huge if we really commit to this for the next few weeks and keep up with these videos and these practice questions. We could do amazing on this AP exam, way better than I think in previous years when we don't have a lot of time to prepare. And so I know you got other classes going on and there's other things that are kind of pulling your time. And that's why I'm keeping the actual assignments for the class to just these weekly Flipgrid videos so that the ones that aren't taking the test can kind of finish out, and the ones that are taking the test can complete those, show their understanding for the course, but then also hopefully use some of that extra time during the week to dedicate to getting ready for the AP Physics 1 exam. So the first thing I want to show you is within AP Classroom. What they've done is they've added new FRQs. If you take a look up here, it says look for this practice icon, and there's new FRQs. It might be a little bit different on my screen compared to yours, but there should be sections. For me, I have to go to this question bank, and under progress, I can find them here, but there's this optional student practice. So I don't know where this is located on your end. It might be within each chapter or something like down the side, but look for that green icon. There's this optional student practice, and you can start to just chip away at these. Unit 1, we're currently covering right now, so like the kinematics and the forces. Unit 2 has force problems, and so this gives you a really good chance of practicing FRQs, and I believe once you submit them, they will give you, it'll give you feedback. It'll tell you the scoring rubric so you can see how you did on them. So start using those. I think that's a really good resource. There's also Albert IO had a resource of this. So that's one resource to start taking advantage of. You can see real AP problems and kind of follow along with these next few weeks, the schedule of this week. We're primarily focusing on kinematics and forces. Then we'll switch into circular motion and energy, and then finish with momentum and simple harmonics. Oops, I forgot about topic 7, rotational motion, so we will do that in that last week right before the AP exam and cover that as well. So the other resource that you should be using is this live stream in YouTube. You don't have to watch the live one every day. What I would do, for most of us, we probably haven't seen all of these yet, I would start in, if you take a look at the playlist here that I linked to earlier, he was finishing out chapter 7, which is a chapter that we all had a lot of trouble on. That was one of our worst tests. And so if you want to review individual topics in chapter 7 that you think you might need some help on, like rotational inertia was a big idea, conservation of momentum, that's the first 6 or 7 videos. But then in video 8, he starts reviewing for the AP exam. And he actually started this during our spring break, and I didn't want to assign anything out to you during spring break. Kind of went back and forth on this, but I just left spring break to have time off, and now we got to play a little bit of catch up. So this week, what I'd recommend doing is catching up on these videos, and he has awesome advice on the AP exam and just getting yourself ready, laying out a plan in these first few videos, especially forces and kinematics. Then they moved on to projectile motion, two-body problems, so that you have like masses chained together and moving. Atwood machines fall into that category. And then we're going to start to get up to things like, in next week, conservation of momentum, circular motion, gravity and orbits. And that brings us to like this one today, number 16, that is energy bar charts. So you don't have to watch all of these this week, but I would definitely start to kind of keep up with the same weekly format of what we're doing for Flipgrid. So looking at the schedule, if you take a look at April, this week we want to cover topics 1 and 2. So that's all of kinematics and forces. And in the YouTube videos, that is quite a bit because they started those last week. So that'd be videos 8, 9, 10, and 11. I'll go through those topics. And then next week we'll switch gears and go into topics 3 and 4. And with topics 3 and 4, that's like circular motion, gravitation, and energy. And those are more like the videos 13, 14, 15. And then the energy videos they're starting to film this week, but we'll be watching them next week so that they should all be done. And so we'll keep watching those energy videos. I think like 16 and 17 look like energy videos. And then we'll do momentum and simple harmonic motion that last week of April. And they're kind of jumping backwards in videos, but that's video. Looks like they have that as video 12 for conservation of linear momentum. And we'll do momentum and then simple harmonic motion. Hopefully that jumps back up to video 18. So then they're going to start going through actual problems because they've covered all of the chapter 7. So that last week, right before the exam, we can look at chapter 7 and go through all of those pieces. At the same time, then, you can be doing the practice problems that go along with that content. So you could be doing AP problems on here. On albert.io, there was FRQ practice as well. And I think that could really help you get ready for the AP exam. That's way more resources and time than we've ever had before. So I'm not going to sign it out daily to you, but I would strongly encourage you to take advantage of all those things. And I think you can do really well with that format. If you have questions on this, please send me a message, and I'll be talking to you later in the week. Keep up the good work on the Flipgrid videos. They're starting to look really good.